morning, welcome to the school. Good morning, welcome to the school. I say good morning, welcome to the school. Success the only option.
What's going on, Flair Scholars? Welcome back to another amazing day at the Flair program. Today, we're going to be talking about debt. What in the world is debt? See, debt is something that you owe someone. Anytime you owe someone something, you are in debt to that person. For example, if you go to the store to buy your favorite snacks and the cashier rings up everything that you want, and then they say to you, now you owe $2.50. Well, you look in your pocket, you look in your wallet or your purse, and you recognize that you only have $1. That means you are $1.50 short. Well, what if you look at your friend and say, hey, can I borrow $1.50 so I can purchase all of my favorite snacks? And your friend says, no problem. Here's $1.50 that I will loan to you so that you can buy what you want. You have now purchased your snacks, but you have also gotten yourself into debt. Why? Because now you owe your friend $1.50. That's what debt is. But instead of it being a good friend who may allow us to pay back over time, usually when a person gets into debt, they have all types of penalties, all types of fees, this thing called interest, and all of these things can make the initial debt increase. So although you may have started owing someone $1.50, over the course of time, weeks, maybe even months, now instead of only owing that person $1.50, you may owe that person $2.50 or something even ridiculous as $200.50. Whoa, I know that sounds crazy, but that's why getting into debt is a bad thing. See, because debt can be somewhat similar to a spider web. It's kind of sticky. It's easy to get into, but it's very difficult to get out of debt. So, what is the goal? The goal is to never spend money that you don't have. You should not borrow money if you cannot pay it back in a timely manner. That will allow you to make sure you do not get into debt. So you might be thinking, but what if I'm already in debt? What if I already owe someone? How do I get out of debt? Well, I'm glad you asked, Flair Scholars, because I have 3 strategies that you can use to get out of debt. Number 1, create a budget. Yes, create a budget. See, remember, a budget is a spending plan. A budget tells me how much money I have left over after all of my expenses are paid for. So we always want to create a budget, and you'll know what you can spend based on your budget. So if you only have $1 left over free, do not spend $2 because that means you have to borrow $1 to match the dollar that you have. So first things first, create a budget. Number 2, spend money wisely. Do not borrow money that you don't have to pay for things that you don't need. Spend money wisely on things that are necessary. You know, food, clothing, things of that nature. But don't just go out spending money on a bunch of things that are wasting your money. So spend money wisely. And number 3, pay your debt on time. If you happen to borrow some money, just make sure you pay it off before you accumulate all of the fees and the interest and the things that penalize you for borrowing money in the first place. So with those 3 strategies to create a budget, spend money wisely, and to pay your debt on time, you can get out of debt and then continue enjoying life. All right. So Flair Scholars, let's make sure that we never get into debt. Let's make sure that we never borrow money to pay for things that we don't need, because it's easy to get into debt, but it's very difficult to get out of debt. Remember, it's like a spider web. Peace.
Good morning, welcome to the school. Good morning, welcome to the school. I say good morning.